All right, let's get started. Okay, so today we are doing Dynaman, and Dynaman is, God, he is basic? Yeah, maybe that's the way to describe him. He has exactly one story to his name. He's a one and done type of hero who was lost quite quickly to the ravages of history. However, I found him kind of compelling, and I decided I needed to share him with you guys. Why, you ask? Well, his story kind of makes a good allegory for superheroism, and specifically the superhero's relationship to society. Basically, to make this simple and easy for everyone, Dynaman is well, he's kind of boring, I guess. Like, he is the most boilerplate comic book hero I've found so far, but he represents a very distinct theme. Dynaman represents civilization, and his greatest enemy, the antagonist of this story specifically, represents savagery. Dynaman is a citizen of a futuristic utopia known as Kurug. In this utopia, everyone has developed to the point where they all have superhuman bodies as well as genius level minds. They are the apex of what humanity can become with progress. And Dynaman happens to be their greatest champion. He is the best of the best. However, not everything is wonderful in this utopia. They have a mortal enemy, the equally as powerful but unnaturally savage tribe of Gurban. They are a similar type of society, but instead of developing using science and technology as their guide, they instead focused on raw barbarism. So this is interesting because right out of the gate, we see an almost exact foil for the main character and the setting, which is the utopia of Kurug. We see that everything here is futuristic. They are civilized, they use machines, etc. Then we see the tribe of Gurban, and they have no machines, no clothing. Instead, they ride animals, and their weaponry is vicious and brutal. So the tribe of Gurban decides to attack Kurug, and Dynaman, being their greatest champion, decides he's going to help out. They toss rocks at the walls of the city, and for a moment they look like they might actually get to invade. However, Dynaman shows up and he puts a stop to all that shit. However, the Gurban tribe has a secret weapon on their behalf. They have the power of animals. They have made a certain connection with animals, and the animals fight on their behalf. We have different strange alien beasts that we see here, such as tigers and lizards, and even a massive and powerful cobra. And though it may seem like these animals have the upper hand, even they are not stronger than Dynaman. He uses his superior body to overcome them, including the snake, which wraps its body around him, squeezing him to death, but Dynaman just literally flexes him off. Finally, the leader of the savages, a man known as Tibber, tries to finish Dynaman with one strike of his knife, but Dynaman apparently also knows judo because he disarms the knife and tosses Tibber up into a tree, which he apparently can't escape from. Then Dynaman is lauded as a hero, and they promise future adventures, which, if you know anything about the Golden Age, it pretty much never happens. So after this story, Dynaman would go on to do nothing else. He would appear in the background of a story arc during World War II. It's the one where the invaders had to team up with the Avengers because Red Skull had found the Cosmic Cube. I'm not going to reference it here because I actually already do often. Then Dynaman was shown just once more. It was in Marvel Zombies Attack, or Marvel Zombies Destroy, or something like that. And he is killed brutally, as it always is in Marvel Zombies, by none other than Namor the Submariner, who tosses him into a giant zombie squid. And I mean, I don't want to show you, but here, I'll show you. Here it is. Can you imagine? This is where it all ends. The kingdom of Kurug and the utopia that they had created, all their ideal human existence, all of that ended in the jaws of a giant zombie squid. I fucking hate the Marvel Zombies. But anyway, the reason I think Dynaman is compelling is because of how perfectly he defines the nature of a hero. He is essentially the best of the best and uses his abilities to help others. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I find that personally inspiring. Imagine if you lived in the kingdom of Kurug. Imagine how great it would be to exist in a time when humanity has reached its apex, when we all have strong bodies and knowledgeable minds, when people have become benevolent and they no longer have to commit crimes. And I don't know, I think it's a nice idea, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't continue. But then in many ways, I guess it did continue, because I mean, in many ways, the kingdom of Kurug is it's just essentially Krypton. It's just essentially the island of the Amazons. It's where the god comes from that has come to humanity to show them the proper way to live. You know, often when I read these Golden Age stories, I notice these ideas are really fantastic, and sometimes they become relevant to what we're going through today. So, you know, I don't know, I would just love it if these stories were continued. And I want to know what happens. I want to know if the kingdom of Kurug is right to live the way that they live. I want to know what made the savages turn so evil. But unfortunately, I guess we'll never know, and I just have to learn to live with that. But we can always speculate, right? So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is this kind of like a class system type situation? Like maybe the kingdom of Kurug was built off the labor of the savages, and maybe what we're seeing here is a revolt of some sort, some kind of like communism, kind of anti-capitalist situation. Who knows? Tell me what you think in the comments. But that's it for this comic. If you liked reading this comic with me and you want to read more comics with me, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, nerds, stay heroic.